don't know if I ever told a story about the churches.
I don't think so.
Here in Atlanta, we wanted to buy a church out here, a building.
Oh, wow.
It cost $1 million. We said, we can't afford that because we grassroots.
Mm.
So the minister said, hey, no. We said, minister, how are you able to afford this $1 million building? He said, you go to the bank. I said, no. We went to the bank. All these bank, they say the churches have unreliable income because 1 week it may be good, next week it might be bad because it's based on donations.
Right.
He said, no. He said, Christians have a bank strictly for Christians.
Oh, wow.
So he gave us the address. Brothers go down there, and the clause is, in order to get the money funded for a church, millions of dollars, you have to teach what they want you to teach. They said to us, our church, our teachings must align with theirs. Jesus is white. December 25th.
Christmas, yeah.
The laws are done away with. I'm like, we don't teach that. You can't get no money from us then. And the churches have never revealed. That was on a sneak tip the minister told us. And we found out, whoa, there's so much ins and out with the churches, it will shock people.
Now, I found this interesting because back in my days, back in the late 90s and the early 2000s when I was a deacon in a church, I found this to be very true. That there was a bank that we would go to in order to borrow money from that bank because the regular banks would not allow for us to borrow money from them because of exactly what this gentleman said, the fact that the income was not stable, that it could change every week. So there was a Christian bank that we would go to. I can't remember the name of it, but we were able to borrow money based on the fact of what our teachings was, and we had to submit the bylaws of the church and the teachings of the church to this bank in order for us to borrow money from the bank itself, which I found very interesting because it was another form of controlling the church, thereby controlling the people and the message to which you teach. And if you didn't teach those messages, teach that language that they wanted, then you will be denied a loan, not because of the financial standing of the church, the equity of the church, but it was purely, for the most part, I ain't gonna say purely, but for the most part, it was based on being in line with what this bank wants you to teach. And one side of me, the business side of me, understands that because if you're going to give money to an organization, you want that organization to be in line with what you desire. That way you know that you maintain control in the same way a regular commercial bank will make sure that you have the assets and you have the income to be able to pay for a loan. Those are their qualifications. And if those were the qualifications of that bank, then who am I to challenge what they do as far as how they conduct their business? But as a person who believes in equality, a person who believes that you should be able to think and feel and do as you choose as long as you don't inhibit someone else's ability to do the same, I find this to be very foul that their system of qualification is purely based on maintaining the control over the population of people. And I found that many of the banks in this Baptist organization that my church at the time belonged to, that was the bank that they would all go get money from. And none of those people looked like me who were running that bank. All those people looked like somebody else. They were Caucasian. So their message, their ideologies were going to be the primary message that was going to be put out. And this is just another system of controlling the mindset of all people, and especially people of color. So y'all do with that whatever you will. Research it, find out as much information you can about it. It's been at least 20 years since I've dealt with it. So I don't know if things have changed or what, but y'all have a great day. And remember, always, you got to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.